ओके, सो कल विच ऑल डेक्स कैटेगरीज भी डिस्कस्ड, कौन कौन से डिस्कस किए थे हमने? कैटेगरीज, द फंक्शंस व्हिच आर डिफाइंड इनटू द डेक्स कैटेगरीज, कौन कौन से डिस्कस करी थी? मैथ्स एंड स्टैट्स. Can you name any of the functions in maths and stats? Sum. So what is the difference between sum and sum x?
You can derive the expressions.
Sum only takes a single column as an input, and you can write an expression. It calculates the output of the expression at the row level and then takes the summation of it. Okay. What was the other category? Filter functions. Which all filter functions we have seen?
All except.
Okay. All except calculate and filter. What filter will do? If you just use filter, what it will do? It will create a subset of the data. Calculate क्यों use करते हैं? Why we use calculate? एक्सप्रेशन लेने के लिए. तो एक्सप्रेशन तो सम एक्स में भी होता है ना. इसमें नहीं होता, उसको कैलकुलेट के अंदर डाल सकते हैं. अगर मैं कह रहा हूँ कैलकुलेट ऑफ सम विच इज कैलकुलेट जो एक्सप्रेशन है वो सम ऑफ कॉलम, तो ये एक एक्सप्रेशन हो गया ना. बट कैलकुलेट स्पेसिफिकली क्यों यूज करूँ मैं? आई कैन यूज सम एक्स व्हेन यू वांट टू गेट अ value or the output of an expression based on filter context. यहाँ पे you have a n number of filters you can apply in calculate, which is not an option in sum x. Okay, that is the difference. Then what all does? All filter function. It takes a column or n number of column as an input. But करता क्या है? Tell me, करता क्या है ये? Let's say प्रोडक्ट कैटेगरी कॉलम है, मैंने इसमें प्रोडक्ट कैटेगरी कॉलम पास किया है, और ये जिस मेजर के जिस वैल्यू के लिए लेट्स से जो भी मेजर है जिसके लिए जिसके अंदर मैंने ऑल फिल्टर फंक्शन अप्लाई किया है, तो ये जो पर्टिकुलर कॉलम है प्रोडक्ट कैटेगरी जो मैंने ऑल फंक्शन के अंदर पास किया है विच इज एक्टिंग एज अ फिल्टर, ये इस पर्टिकुलर मेजर को अफेक्ट नहीं करेगा. सिर्फ इस पर्टिकुलर मेजर को अफेक्ट नहीं करेगा, बाकी मेजर्स को अफेक्ट करेगा. ठीक है. एंड व्हाट इज ऑल एक्सेप्ट? वाई अपोजिट ऑफ ऑल फंक्शन. ठीक है. व्हाट वाज द थर्ड कैटेगरी वी कवर्ड? डेट एंड टाइम. So what all functions we saw in date and time? Calendar. Why we need to have a calendar table? To have the date consistent. Basically to remove the date inconsistencies. और हम सिर्फ जो भी date columns में create करेंगे, we will be using as a central date column for each of our calculations. Reason being कि order date में कुछ dates missing होगी, या return date में कुछ ना कुछ date missing होगी. So that won't be a right approach to go with. ठीक है. Then what was the next category we discussed? Time intelligence. What's the use case of time intelligence? For comparison over a period of time. So let's say previous month sales or current month last period sales. Last period means last year sales, right? ठीक है. So कौन कौन से देखे थे हमने यहाँ पे? अगर previous month sales या previous year sales चाहिए तो कौन सा फंक्शन यूज करूंगा फिल्टर के लिए? फिल्टर के अंदर डेट ऐड along with calculate, inside calculate only. ठीक है. डेट बिटवीन क्या करेगा? It will show the aggregated value of an expression between that particular time period only, and it won't be affected by the slicer, the date slicer, calendar table wala, calendar date. Okay? So like this, we have around 250 DAX functions. You just need to understand the categories accordingly and can pick up the functions to perform your task. Oh yeah, we did one more function, which is related function, which is relationship. When you want to get a value of a column which is in another table which is related to the current table, you can use related function for that. Okay. Okay. So we did date add, then we did dates between. Now we have total YTD. Okay. So it's total year to date. So if from a particular, let's say year to a current date, I want to have that value, I can use total YTD for that. So अब total YTD का खुद का argument है expression का, so I don't need to use calculate along with it. So let's derive this total YTD. Let me create a new measure. sales and new measure. Okay. And let the measure name be total. I'm just giving the function names so that you understand. Okay. So now I will say total. Like we have total YTD, we have total QTD or total MTD. Month to date, quarter to date, year to date. Okay. So if I say total YTD, year to date, expression. Let's say I want to take sum of sales amount for now. Then the next argument is what? It is asking for the next argument is dates. So which date column I will pass? Calendar table में से date column. ठीक है. Then it is saying filter. So what this is this is the definition of the total YTD. It evaluates the specified expression over the interval which begins on the first day of the year and ends with the last date in the specified date column after applying the specified filters. ठीक है. So year to date. So यहाँ पे filter apply करना है तो I will say calendar date, calendar table which is having the date column, and I'm saying the date is, let's say, greater than equals to date of I'm saying 2019 1 and close. I'm not mentioning the year end date, so it will return me till the last date which exists in the calendar table if the values are available. Okay. So from this date, from this 2019 year, it will return me the total sales amount. Yes, let's check this measure now. So if I have this and divided underscore sales, it is showing me blank. Okay. Let me insert a table as well. And let me say, let me have the calendar table. Say I'm taking up the date column, for example, and I'm just keeping the year for now. Okay. And in this year, I'm then getting the total YTD sales. So it's clear that my formula is correct, right? Formula is correct. One second, guys. Yeah, my formula is correct. What I mentioned, कि from 2019 till the last date which is available, I should get the. अब ये जो so I was getting the total of, I'm not getting the total of it over here, so that is the issue. Okay, we will fix this, but that is an issue with the total YTD. But I mentioned कि 2019 से start होना चाहिए year, and whatever the last date is present till that particular date, give me the total sales. So that is why it is not showing for me 2017 or 18 वाला, क्योंकि 19 से start हो रहा है. And this is the bifurcation. अब measure की property है कि if the relationship is defined between the tables, the measure will get bifurcated as per the categories. तो यहाँ पे ये bifurcate हो रहा है. But what I want is मेरे को ये total चाहिए. What is the total sales from 19 to current date? ठीक है? कैसे करेंगे? इसलिए that is one of the reason that's how you are going to rectify your errors. One of the reason कि यहाँ पे blank आ रहा है क्योंकि कार्ड क्या शो करता है? कार्ड शो करता है total. ठीक है. Now let's say कि इसको filter effect करता है कि नहीं करता. Let me get a slicer, and in the slicer I am getting the product category. हाँ नहीं, सिर्फ 19 है. वो बाइफरकेट हो गया ना मेजर फिर ईयर लेवल पे. अगर मैं यहाँ पे फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मैं यहाँ पे ये हटा देता हूँ, so अभी टोटल तो शो नहीं कर रहा है ना, दैट्स एन इशू विद दिस. बट इफ आई गेट टोटल बाय कहाँ पे डेट, नाउ इफ आई रिमूव डे एंड क्वार्टर, सी तो अब ये जो है ये बाइफरकेट हो गया है. सो अब ये बाइफरकेट हो गया है एट मंथ लेवल फॉर ईच ईयर. तो मेजर की प्रॉपर्टी है ना, इफ द रिलेशनशिप इज डिफाइंड इट विल गेट बाइफरकेटेड. सो दैट इज so now it is showing me same. See, let's understand this. Jan, Feb, so 2020 का है यहाँ पे. मई, जून, जुलाई, दिसंबर. यहाँ पे ये रिपीट शो कर रहा है. एग्जैक्टली सेम. लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड द रीजन फॉर दिस. मेरा जो डेटा है वो कहाँ तक अवेलेबल है, व्हाट्स द लास्ट डेट इन द कैलेंडर डेट, और यहाँ पे सेल्स में मई तक है. मई के बाद देयर इज नो डेटा, राइट? सो मई तक है तो इट इज करेक्ट. उसके बाद इट इज जस्ट रिपीटिंग इट, विच इज ऑल्सो इनकरेक्ट. ठीक है. तो ये एक प्रॉब्लम हमने यहाँ पे चेकआउट करी. बट इफ आई चेक एट द ईयर लेवल वेदर इट इज करेक्ट और नॉट, वी कैन चेक दैट. लेट मी गेट अ स्लाइसर अगेन. 12,650,022. आई थिंक वो टोटली शो कर रहा है 2020 का ना. ठीक है. बट इफ आई से बाइक्स, so yeah, it is getting affected by total YTD, gets affected by the filters, slicers. Dates between does not. I mean, dates between does not get affected with the date slicer, which you have used in that. Okay, so done. Now, the problem with this is that this is a table and I want to see. I want to see the total. तभी total card में display होगा. So what if I take the sum of these two? I can. तो कौन सा function use करूँगा मैं? Calculate. Sum x. Why sum x and not sum? This is an expression, right? So this entire expression I will take as a input. This entire expression I will take as a input. So I will say sum x and the table name is sales, comma, this is my expression. So it will take the sum of it. Done. And see, now you are able to see the total over here as well. Yeah. So this is giving you from that particular year to the current date, the total sales. Similarly, you have total MTD from that particular current month to the current date. Then you have QTD from that particular quarter to current date. ठीक है? Let me get that. So there is no data after main. So now it's correct, right? So these things you need to see, otherwise your numbers will be incorrect. Clear? Similarly, you can calculate total QTD, total MTD. Okay? And everyone clear with the DAX formula over here? So I told you, expression can be anything. So this time, the formula is my expression, which is giving me the output. Then we have same period last year. So I told you, like, if the 2024 May sales is 20,000, I would like to see 2023 May sales. So for that, you'll be using same period last year. Okay? So just take date column as an input. Again, I'll be using it. What it does, it shifts the date 1 year back. So I'll be using this as what? As a filter in the calculate. So again, new measure. Same period. Scales, that's the name of the measure. And I'm saying calculate. So I'm taking a very simple expression this time. That's only sum of sales amount. Then filter. So I will say same period last year, and it just take date column as an input. So I will say calendar date. Clear? I've just give, like, inside the all function I used to pass a column. Inside the same period last year or date add, I will pass a date column. Done. Now let's check this thing. So, let me have the marks card. In the marks card, I'm having the same period last year. Measure. And let me also have the total sales. Okay, another marks card. So these marks card are used to display the overall numbers on the top of the dashboard. Sales amount is the sales amount. Okay. Now, if I pick another slicer, which will have the year, formatting it, vertical list, and year. Go back, and I will say date hierarchy. Okay, I will just keep year over here. So if I click on 17, there is no data before 17. So last year will be blank for the same period last year. It's better I should keep month also. That will give you better idea. So let's say May, July. I have the data for the July, but I don't have the data for the 2016 July. So if I click on 18 and see 2017 July data is what? 489.33K. Just remember this. Now I will select 2018 July. So in 2018 July, the sales was 2.4 million. But in the same month, last year, the sales was around 489K. Okay. So that's what, that's how the same period last month is useful over here. Just remove this. Clear with this? Same period last year wala. And this is the formula for this. Okay. Then similarly, all these are what? You'll be using these date function time intelligence functions as filter functions. Okay? Inside the filter argument of the calculate, start of month, end of month, start of quarter, start of year. Okay? So all these will go into what? The filter argument of the calculate, and they will only take date column as an input. That's it. Okay? And then you can play with the slices. So any doubt in the time intelligence functions part? Clear? Okay. Then we have relationship functions. In relationship functions, we have seen one of the function which is related already. Then there is cross filter. Okay. Okay. So see what happens over here when we define the relationship between the tables. When we define the relationship between the tables, you can see over here key how my data is flowing. It is flowing from the dimension table to the fact table in all the tables. Now the direction of the flow of data is from the dimension to the fact. So it can happen that data can flow in both direction also, from dimension to fact and fact to dimension. But what is the problem in that case is it will make the query very slow, and the user experience will be hampered because now instead of now the data is not filtered in a single direction. The filtering direction is in both. Like first it is getting filtered from product to fact, then it is getting filtered in fact to dimension. So it makes the query very slow. So now if you establish a bidirectional relationship, so how you can do that? Let's say this, you can just click on this properties, and its cross filter direction is single. You can make it both over here. Once you do that, apply changes. See, can you see over here? Now it is in both directions. Just a second. It is in both directions. Now the data is flowing in both the directions. So imagine for each of the table, if the data is flowing in both the directions, how slow your queries will become. Ultimately, your computation power, you need more computation power for this. Okay. Now understand, let's say you have derived multiple KPIs using these two, using the columns from these two tables, fact and dimension, right? Now for those, all the KPIs which you have derived from the product table and the sales table, for all those KPIs, the filtering will happen in bidirectional, right? So let me make it single. So that's the, so if you require, like if you want all the KPIs to have a bidirectional relationship, so for that, you can simply establish the relationship between the two tables as bidirectional. Let me make it single directional for now. Single apply. Okay. Yeah. Now, but what I'm saying is, let's say you have multiple KPIs you have derived, okay? But there's a particular KPI. There's a particular KPI for which only for that particular KPI you need to have a bidirectional relationship. But if you apply the, अगर आप bidirectional relationship tables के बीच में apply करते हो तो क्या होगा? हर एक KPI के लिए जो filtering होगी वो bidirectional होगी. But आपको सिर्फ particular KPI के लिए bidirectional चाहिए तो उसके लिए what you can do is you can use this relationship function which is cross filter. You can give the left column right column, and what is the cross filter type, single, bidirectional, one way or two way. Okay, so let me show you that. So let me just see if I can add a column in the product table. Or so let's say I have standard cost. Let's say I want to get the sales amount over here in the product table. Okay. So let me say new measure, new column. Sorry, because I want to get a column, and I'm saying let's say calculate. I want sum of what, sales amount, and comma filter. So I can say how do I want to filter. So I can say cross filter. Left column is product key. Right column is product sales. May we have the product key, and then you have cross filter type. So both, none. You don't want to filter at all. One way left filters, right, left to right, or right to left. How do you want to filter? That you can decide from here. So I can say both. That's one of the filter I have applied. Now, if you have any other filters, you can apply over here, like all function, all except, all that can be done. Okay. Okay. So see what has happened. I am getting the total sales on the basis of the product keys mapped to the product table from the sales table. Clear? I'm saying the type of filtering that is happening for this particular measure is bidirectional in both the directions. So let's, instead of both, if I make it, I think यहाँ पे ज़्यादा difference मिलेगा नहीं. It's right to left, left to right. Let's see. So problem is यहाँ पे ज़्यादा difference दिखेगा नहीं, but just understand that कि how the data is flowing. So left to right means what over here? As per this, so from product table to sales table. So वो तो पहले flow हो रहा था ना data वैसे तो. Let me make it. If I make it none. See what I did. I made it none. ठीक है? क्या हो गया यहाँ पे? आई एम सेइंग फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर केपीआई, अगर रिलेशनशिप एग्जिस्ट भी करती है तो मैंने कह दिया कि इस पर्टिकुलर केपीआई के लिए इज नो रिलेशन बिटवीन दीस टू टेबल्स. तो यहाँ पे क्या आ रहा है? आई एम गेटिंग द overall sum of the sales amount column over here. So accordingly, I mean that can be decided, right? Clear ki whether you want to have bidirectional, single directional, that is from left to right or right to left for a particular KPI. You can decide it using the cross filter function. So it's kind of, you can say, inner join. मतलब दोनों साइड से फिल्टर हो रहा है. ओके, सम निकाल रहे हैं मतलब. हाँ, वो कीज के बेसिस पे मैप कर रहा है ना वैल्यूज. अब मैंने नन कर दिया यहाँ पे. मैंने यहाँ पे मेंशन किया है ना कि मेरे को किस हिसाब से रिलेशनशिप एस्टैब्लिश करनी है. सी यहाँ पे मैंने कॉलम्स कौन से मेंशन किए हैं. राइट, मतलब दोनों डायरेक्शन से फिल्टर हो रहा है. सो आई एम सेइंग काइंड ऑफ इनर जॉइन, नॉट एग्जैक्टली इनर जॉइन. नहीं नहीं, यू आर गेटिंग इट रॉन्ग. आई एम सेइंग ओवर हियर टेबल्स है दोनों. अब उन टेबल्स के बीच में रिलेशनशिप कैसे एग्जिस्ट. अब ज्वाइंस का केस क्या होता है कि ज्वाइन करने के बाद मेरा टेबल का साइज इंक्रीज हो जाता है. सो आई वॉन्ट कॉल इट इनर जॉइन एग्जैक्टली, बट इट इज काइंड ऑफ इनर जॉइन की बिकॉज यहाँ पे मैं सिर्फ रिलेशनशिप स्टैब्लिश कर रहा हूँ. एंड किस टाइप की रिलेशनशिप स्टैब्लिश कर रहा हूँ. अब रिलेशनशिप में क्या है, फिल्टरिंग या तो सिंगल डायरेक्शनल होगी या बाय डायरेक्शनल होगी या नहीं होगी. मैं नन कर रहा हूँ तो क्या हो रहा है, आई एम गेटिंग द एग्रीगेटेड वैल्यू की कोई रिलेशनशिप डिफाइंड है ही नहीं. सिंगल डायरेक्शन में वी हैव एन ऑप्शन वेदर यू वांट टू मेक द फ्लो ऑफ द डेटा फ्रॉम लेफ्ट टू राइट और राइट टू लेफ्ट. हाँ, मतलब you can assume it, but it is not exactly joint because relationship और joints are two different things. Joints में आपका table increase हो जाता है size, यहाँ पे सिर्फ it is just reference you are taking up, ठीक है? Sorry, double join. Bidirectional relation. So bidirectional relationship में see once it is filtering from left to right, then right to left. Bidirectional. So usually when you want to have, so let's say यहाँ पे भी have this option, ठीक है? Left to right. When you want your data to flow from left table to the right hand side table, let's say if I want sales bifurcation as per category, ठीक है? So my data should flow from dimension to fact. That's how I'm getting it. But if I want something, some column which is present in the dimension table and not in, and some categorical column in the fact table which is not in the dimension table, then I would like my data to flow from either in bidirectional or from right to left. तो मैंने कहा था यहाँ पे कि स्टार्टिंग में कि इट इज डायमेंशनल डेटा मॉडलिंग. यहाँ पे हाउ द डेटा इज फ्लोइंग बिटवीन द टेबल्स इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Relational data modeling was about what we did in SQL, that is performing joins or performing the relationship between any two tables. But यहाँ पे you cannot perform the relationship, define the relationship between any two tables. Make sense now? See, I have this column, sales column. I have the sales column in the which table? In the fact table. So if I make it none, that is there is no relationship defined, right? So it will give me the overall value over here for each of the keys. Then I have both. So let's say if I make it one way, so one way it will pick up the one which is defined, which I have defined, that is from data flowing from the dimension to fact. ठीक है, but यहाँ पे ये जो left to right है, that is mentioned on the basis of the keys that you are defining over here. So I've said product and this, so that is same as what relation I have defined over here. This one. Just a second. See, यहाँ पे it is single directional. ठीक है, bidirectional का use case भी बता देता हूँ मैं एक. But let me just do this, finish this one. Let me make it both in this case. Okay. Sales underscore product. Why these are blanks? Huh? There is no link. No. So how I'm getting these values? That means that these keys are not present in the sales table. There are no sales done for that these particular products. Okay. So one more thing we can have over here is 1 second. So let's say I have this product table. Let me create a new column. And okay. And then I am saying related of column name. So sales. It is not showing it, right? Or let me say sum of sales amount. Let's check if what it gives. यहाँ पे it is giving me the overall value. ठीक है? And related यहाँ पे it is not showing me only. Related is not showing me any table sales, any column from the sales table, right? ठीक है. Now let me delete this now, and I will do the same thing in the sales table, and I will say new column. Let's say I want to have the product category over here, so I will say related, and it is showing me all the tables which are related to this one. ठीक है? Now what I'll do is let me make it bidirectional and then check product and sales. So I want to have, let's say, related and sales amount. Still it is not showing me that. So I think calculate के अंदर ही होगा. Calculate related or should say related table, and sales, बट यहाँ पे कैलकुलेशन परफॉर्म नहीं होगी. It will only give the related rows. Just a second. Let me check what example I can take over here. Let's check this only. So I've said both. It is 12105.16 something 40440. Okay, if I make it one way, and then check. See now, if I'm using one-way right filters left, it is giving me error. It is saying the cross filter function cannot be used to enable only the many side of a many to one relationship to filter the one side. It is saying many side of a many to one relationship. So it is what? Many to one. ठीक है? To filter the one side. So the other is saying if you have a many to one relationship, you cannot filter from the many to one side. That is from the fact table to the dimension table in for a particular case. So I have said कि filter from the right to left. So this is not possible. Left to right will be done. So it is basically you cannot filter in the direction of many to one, but you can in the one to many. So यहाँ पे one way or that both is in both directions. One way or one left filters right from left to right. So that should be give you the output. One to many. Okay. So in this case, both one way and left to right are working as same. Both is basically the filter direction is in both the from both the tables. But it is filtering from dimension to fact and fact to dimension. Yes. So particularly it is not just taking. So both is kind of you can say यहाँ पे मैं you can basically understand it as a join. ठीक है? Both is like inner. A product table में we have all the products. In sales table we do not have all the product keys. ठीक है? So when we say both, तो both is it is only picking up the common ones. When I say left to right, it is giving me what? So when I say left to right, it is giving me basically it is giving me the values only for those which are present in the sale. When I say right to left, so all those products are not present over there, first of all, in the sales table. हाँ, but it is not working ना. That's the यहाँ पे वो आ रहा है कि it does not support many to one वाला case. But when I say both यहाँ पे, तो वो सिर्फ common ones pick कर रहा है कि cross filter direction is in both sides. How you are putting it up over here? Yeah, this is for a particular KPI I'm talking about. ठीक है? Yes. So यहाँ पे, so now what will happen? Only for this particular KPI, the cross filter direction will be in. Let me make it both. The cross filter direction will be both. And for other KPIs which are calculated using the columns from these two tables, fact and dimension, the cross filter direction will be single. Okay, so that's how you are basically optimizing the performance of your dashboard. Okay. So this was relationship functions. You can, for a particular KPI, if you want to decide the specific filtering direction. So for that, you can use cross filter function. Then we have table manipulation functions. So when I say table manipulation functions, you will be creating a table for that. Okay. So we have this summarize function. If you want to summarize a table, create a summary report. For that, you can use summarize function. Let me show you how it works. So let's say, what will I create? A table. Where is the table? One second. I will say new table because these are table manipulation functions that will return a table in the output. So let me just name it as summarize underscore TBL, and I will say summarize. Now it is asking for the table name. Which table I want to summarize? Let's say I want to summarize product table. I will give the name of the product. This is same as the select query in SQL. Group by. Which columns you want to group by? So I'm saying product category and product subcategory. Huh? You can give n number of columns to group by. It will take the unique combination, right? Then now I will jump to the second part, which is name, the expression I want to have. So I'm saying name of the column I want to derive is, let's say, total sales and comma. How are you going to get these total sales? So I'm saying sum of whatever expression you want to give, sales amount. And done. So like this, you can have n numbers, name two. You can derive a second column on the basis of whatever expression you want to give and the name of the column. Okay? So it will give me a summary report of total sales for each category and subcategory. See. So all these combinations over here are what? Unique. And I'm getting the total sales for these combinations. See, this is my summary table which I've created using the summarize function. Clear? The next we have is, okay, distinct. So it will just give you the total number of rows, distinct rows. Okay. Then we have add columns and select columns. See, we won't be working with this group by, intersect, natural inner join, natural left outer join, union, because for this we have direct options and they're not even used. We have direct options, merge queries, append queries. So we won't be using these. Okay. So we have add column and select columns. So let's start with add columns. Again, since these are table manipulation functions, so a table will be created. And I will say add columns. So I will say add columns. Now table name I need to give. So I will give the table name as product table, let's say. And name of the, so what add column will do is, I have mentioned the name of the table. It will give me all the columns from this particular table. Additionally, whatever column I will derive, it will give me that as well. So if I say this name as total sales, I'll say total profit, and I am taking the expression as profit. Okay, and close. It has returning me. It has returned me the entire table. Along with this, it has returned me what? An additional column which I've derived. Now my question is why I haven't taken the aggregation of the profit. Why I haven't taken the aggregation of the profit over here and still getting the aggregated value at the product level? Because profit is a measure. It's already an aggregated value. What is profit? We calculated a measure, which is an aggregated value. So why will I take the aggregation of an aggregated value? Clear? It is bifurcated as per the key accordingly. If I would take a sales amount, then I will take sum of it because that's a column. Okay, so that's what add column does. Whichever table you mention, it will give you the entire data of that particular table along with the additional columns which you want to derive. Okay. Again, new table. Oh, sorry, not new column, new table. So I will say select columns. I will mention the name of the table as product table again, so that you understand the difference. Now, what used to happen in add columns? It used to give us the entire data of the entire table along with additional derived columns. But in select columns, it will only give you those columns in the output which you are mentioning over here. So I'm saying, let's say product underscore key. That's the name I'm giving. What's the expression? The column, which is what? Product key. Correct? And then I'm taking, let's say, profit. And the expression is profit, which is a measure. Done. So it will have only two columns in the output because I have mentioned only two columns. That pick product key, which will be named as product underscore key, and the profit. So even if I take product category or product subcategory, let me take it. It will still give me the number of rows will still be same as the number of rows in a product table because यहाँ पे summarize नहीं कर रहा है. ये aggregated value को bifurcate कर रहा है as per what. Let me take not profit. Let me take sum. Let's say profit है. Let me take one more thing over here. Sales. ठीक है. And I am taking sum of sales amount. क्या इशू है यहाँ पे? तो कैसे करेंगे? एग्रीगेशन आ रहा है ना ओवरऑल लेवल पे, बाइफरकेट नहीं हो रहा है. क्या करेंगे फिर? अगर वो बाइफरकेट नहीं हो रहा है तो यू विल बी यूजिंग कैलकुलेट फंक्शन. तो यहाँ पे कैलकुलेट फंक्शन यूज करें एंड क्लोज. डन. वो कीज के बेसिस पे, जिस कॉलम के बेसिस पे रिलेशनशिप डिफाइंड है, उसके बेसिस पे वो अपने बाइफरकेट हो जाएगा. सी डन. ठीक है. लिया ना मैंने प्रोडक्ट की, उसको रीनेम कर दिया बस, क्योंकि यहाँ पे नेम मेंशन करना होता है ना. You can get product category also. Let me get product category. So I can say prod underscore cat as the name of the column, and my expression is product category. Done. ये summarize नहीं कर रहा. It is bifurcating on the basis of the keys, on basis of which the relationship is defined. Yes. Then this table will be input to that. Okay. So clear the difference between add columns and select columns. Text functions. We have worked with these text functions, exact functions in Excel and even in SQL. Okay. So I would be taking this up. Information function just gives you simple log informations like is blank, is error, is number. These functions we have seen in Excel also to date identifier, whether it's a numeric date or a text date, right? Then we have text statement in which we will be working with var. Okay, var statement. Okay, so now there's a task for you guys. What you need to do is what I want to do over here is I want to calculate percentage change in sales for each year. ठीक है. अभी इसका सबसे पहले क्या कैलकुलेट करेंगे? इसके लिए टेबल क्रिएट करेंगे, मेजर क्रिएट करेंगे कि केपीआई कॉलम क्रिएट करेंगे? आई वांट टू गेट द परसेंटेज चेंज इन सेल्स फॉर ईच ईयर. Percentage change in sales over years. कैसे होगा? फॉर्मूला बता दो क्या होता है परसेंटेज चेंज का. ईयर लेवल पे कैलकुलेट करना है परसेंटेज चेंज. व्हाट विल बी द फॉर्मूला फॉर दिस? करंट ईयर माइनस प्रीवियस ईयर डिवाइडेड बाय प्रीवियस ईयर इनटू 100 इफ यू वांट टू डू. ठीक है, दैट्स द फॉर्मूला. करंट ईयर सेल्स कैसे आएगी? सम से आ जाएगा. ठीक है, आ जाएगा सम से. प्रीवियस ईयर सेल्स कैसे आएगी? सेम पीरियड वाले फंक्शन से. प्रीवियस ईयर नॉट प्रीवियस मंथ. डेटा एड कैलकुलेट के साथ डेटा एड आई कैन डू एंड आई कैन सबसेट माय डेट्स 1 ईयर बैक. filter, yeah. So now understand कि if I write the formula for this minus calculate of date add divided by calculate of date add, how complex my formula will be, right? But now if I measure बनाना है ना, एक पूरा measure होगा ये. Now, but if instead of writing this formula entirely in a single go, what if I store the values in some variable? जैसे current year की value मैंने एक variable में store कर ली CY, ठीक है. current year sales की value CY में store कर ली, previous year sales की value PY में store कर लिया. So अब मेरे को अगर calculation करना है तो I don't have to write the entire formula क्योंकि value तो इसमें stored है. So I will say CY minus PY divided by PY into 100. जैसे Python में होता है ना, you store values in an object, तो यहाँ पे I store values in a variable. That's an object. measure एक ही बनेगा. I'll tell you. measure एक ही बनेगा. I'll tell you that. तभी तो बता रहा हूँ. So we have, for that we have deck statements. ठीक है. So I will create a measure because ultimately it's an aggregated value. कहाँ पे create हुआ ये measure? So see, we have some of the tables which are unnecessary because I just wanted to explain you the DEX functionality. कि how which DEX functions we are having. So let's say sales table. यहाँ पे I want to create a measure which I will name as percentage YOY change, year on year change. So percent YOY change sales. ठीक है. Now shift enter to go to the next line. I am saying कि where I have defined, this is the word you'll be using to define a variable where, and after that you'll be giving the name. So let's say my name is current underscore year underscore sales. ठीक है. What's the formula now? Sum of sales amount. Done. मैंने कौन से वेरिएबल में स्टोर कर दी? करंट ईयर सेल्स में, इस पर्टिकुलर मेजर के लिए. शिफ्ट एंटर. Another variable I'm defining and I'm saving as previous underscore year underscore sales. What will be the formula? Calculate sum of sales amount, and then I will say date add, and what's date? So calendar date. I told you I'll be using this centralized date over here. Number of intervals -1 and interval is year. Done. Same period last year will give you same period, that means current month previous year sales. नहीं. Either you can use parallel period for that, this one, or date add. Now I have stored the current year value and previous year value in variables current year sales and previous year sales. ठीक है. Now I will say return what I want to return. Return के बाद you will write what you want in the output. ठीक है. जैसे stored procedure में begin और end के बीच में लिखते हैं, तो यहाँ पे return के बाद आप लिखोगे. So I want what? Let's say current year sales. You can see this variable over here. नहीं. Previous year sales, and I can simply say divide by or into 100 divided by previous year sales. Yeah. Done. ठीक है. Enter. So this is my measure which is created, percentage YOY change in sales. Now if I get this table and I get this date column which will have years, and I will get this percentage YOY change from the sales table. Okay, see. So 17 will be obviously blank or infinity because there is no previous value for that particular year. 18 is there is 1% increase in sales compared to 17. Then from 18 to 19, 33%, 19 to 20, decline in sales 61%, and 2021, 100% because we do not have data over here, right? So what I will do is, यहाँ पे डेटा नहीं अपने पास, ठीक है. तो हम विजुअल फिल्टर्स वो अप्लाई करेंगे, बट वो अभी नहीं देख रहे हो. बट ये इन्फिनिटी है ना. तो देखो यहाँ पे इफ आई गो टू फिल्टर्स, इफ आई गो टू दिस फिल्टर टैब, यहाँ पे आई हैव फिल्टर ऑन दिस विजुअल, मतलब ये जो फिल्टर है वो सिर्फ इस विजुअल के लिए एप्लीकेबल होगा. तो डेट ईयर्स, आई कैन एक्सपैंड दिस एंड आई कैन से बेसिक फिल्टरिंग, And from there, I'm saying do not select all except 2021 because I do not have the data for 2021, right? And done. So now you are able to see till 2020. नहीं, we had this data in the calendar table. उसका data नहीं था अपने पास क्योंकि हमने Indian fiscal year दिया था ना उस हिसाब से. So there was no sales, so minus 100% it became. ठीक है? So now if you see this is infinity, I would not like to see this, or I would like to see this as a blank or null, or I don't would like to see this if it is infinity the first year. So I can use the divide function for that. Either I can do this or I can say divide. Divide by numerator. What is numerator? Current year sales minus previous year sales. That's my numerator, right? Into 100, comma. What is the denominator? Previous year sales. Now it is saying what is the alternate result? Like if it is blank or infinity or null something, what is the alternate result? I can give it as 0. If I don't pass anything, it will just remove that particular cell or row from the table. So if I say enter, see, gone. Now it's correct, right? अब इसका use case कहाँ पे है? What I will do, I will create a marks card which will have the percent of IOI change, and in the slicer I will have a year from the date table. So from, let's say I want to understand ki, what was the sales in from 18 to 19, 33, 19 to 20, minus 61% decline in sales, 61% decline in sales. So that's how you're going to create the KPIs which are going to give you insights. Clear with the text statement where so there's a Microsoft site also for the DEX, so which you can explore if you require. DEX. So you'll be able to find and like post all the DEX functions over here. You simply have to write the name of the DEX function if you want to see the basically documentation of it. So this is a find function if I want to see, let's say same period last year, right? So same period last year. It is saying it's a time intelligence function. Done. Click on it and it will open it up, and accordingly you will understand, you can understand the syntax, the definition, what it returns, and the arguments, and an example as well of the code. Okay? So that's why I told you you don't have to learn the DEX functions, you just need to understand it. You can always explore this site, Microsoft DEX. 2021 was minus 100%. And I checked in my sales table, my data was till 2020. But since हमने जो डेट ली है वो इंडियन फिजिकल ईयर के हिसाब से ली है कैलेंडर टेबल में, तो उस हिसाब से वो we have extra 3 months data. So with this, we are done with DAX functions. टोटल मतलब वो वहां पे टोटल का सेंस है ही नहीं ना, परसेंटेज चेंज कैलकुलेट कर रहे हो तो वहां पे टोटल का सेंस है ही नहीं. सो तभी तो मैंने कहा मार्क्स कार्ड इंपॉर्टेंट है. ओके okay guys, any doubt in the DEX part till now? I hope you have an idea about how to derive the KPIs. Guys, let me know any query regarding the DEX part. Online guys. Okay. Offline guys, let me know clear or not. Next part. Yeah. At the back, any queries regarding the DEX? So it's just like Excel functions only. You just need to, if you understand the concept, how you are going to approach the problem, then you will be able to derive the formula for that as well. Okay. Okay. So it's around 10:45. Let's have a break. Everyone be back by 11:05, and then we will start with the advanced visualization wala concept. Okay. Okay. So next thing that we'll be looking at, guys, please. So next thing we'll be looking at is types of filters. Okay. So basically there are three types of filters in Power BI. We have filter on the visual and on the page, and then we have filter on all pages, which is report level filter. Okay. So for example, if I drag this visual over here, let's say it will be a column chart, and I'm taking up the product subcategories, and in the y-axis, let me have the sales amount. So I have a lot of subcategories over here, among which most of is not contributing a lot in terms of sales. So let's say I just want to show top 5 categories in terms of sales, right? So what I will do is I will apply a filter on this visual only. Okay, so select this visual and then filters. Then you have an option over here, filter on this visual. So over here, if you click on this drop down, in the basic filtering, you can uncheck some of the options which you don't want to show in the visual, like we did in the case of slicer. That's also visual. Or what you can do, you can say go to the top end part and how many top items you want to show. Let's say top 5. On the basis of what? Sum of sales amount. So I will drag sales amount over here in the by value, and I will apply the 1 second. Let me just drag it, and I will apply this filter. Done. So now the filter that I have applied is only on this visual. So it will return me top 5 subcategories in terms of sales. So this is what filter on the visual means. Filter on all pages. Oh, sorry, filter on not all pages. Then the next type of filter we have is filter on this page. So now whatever variable I put inside this filter on this page filter, so whatever and whichever analysis I do, whichever chart I create using that variable, so the filter will be automatically applied for this page. Let's say I'm taking up a slicer, or let me have this filter on this page. I will drag a variable which is let's say date column on this page. Now in this, I am saying ki I want to have relative data advanced filtering, basic filtering. Okay, it is giving me the date. Just a second. यहाँ पे नहीं होगा, I think. Uh, let's say if we have a slicer, and in the slicer I'm having the date, and I'm just keeping year. Okay. So what I am doing, I don't want to show the data for 2021. So I'm not selecting any visual over here on all pages. Let me get the order date and basic filtering. Let's say advanced filtering is before, and you can basically give the date over here. What I can do, or I can simply write it. Let's say month is empty right now. Month is 1 slash day is 1 and the date is 2021. And I'm saying apply filter is before. Or let me just make it 2018, for example, let's say. Okay. And now let me get a marks card and let me get the sales amount. It's still showing me that. Let me get a slicer also, and in that why is it not filtering for this one? Let's say is a relative date in the last 1 to 1000. I think it will want to make sense over here. One last which years? In the last, let's say, 10 years. I don't want to include today, apply filter. If I say in the last 5 years, then see what is happening. It has so not it is not over. Let's forget this slicer. If I'm saying if the date is in the last 5 years, show me the data for that. So now it is applied on all the visuals because this filter is which I'm applying is on the page level. Okay, if I say in the last 7 years, see. If I say last 6 years, so every time from the next year, if I talk about the next year, then it will show me the last 6 years data on for this particular page. So if you want to apply a filter on the entire dashboard, for that you can drag that variable over here in the filter on all pages. Okay. For example, let's say if I don't talk about date part, if I talk about any category, product category, product category into the filter on all pages, and I don't want to show a particular category. Let's say I don't want to show this category, bikes, which is a loss making category. So it has removed the data for the bikes category on the entire dashboard. So this is what filter on all pages is. Filter on a visual is applicable to a particular visual only. Filter on this page is applicable to to all the visuals on this particular dashboard or page. Now then there we have is filter on all pages. So this is known as report level filter. So if there is a particular filter which I want to apply on the entire report, that is on each page. So I will drag that variable over here and I will apply that filter. Okay. So these are the three different types of filters we are having in Power BI: visual level filter, page level filter, and report level filter. So that's the use case of filters over here. Now see, data analysts have to be good storytellers. So when you build a dashboard, right? When you build a report, so report contains multiple dashboards, that is multiple pages. So you have to basically tell a story through it. So for that, you'll be using certain type of actions. Okay. So let's say if I build a dashboard, what I will do, report on the first page, what I will do is I will have the boxes, which will tell me on which page of the report I have done what analysis. Let's say profit dashboard, marketing dashboard, sales dashboard. So different dashboards are created. Okay. So let's say now the client directly wants to jump to the profit dashboard. So he just simply clicks on this and it will take him to the profit dashboard directly. And then once he reaches to the profit dashboard, I will add a back button. Once he click on that, he will come to the basically, yeah, the first page of the report, which shows in which page what all analysis we have present. Okay. So in order to perform such kind of actions, we will need certain things in Power BI. So what we will need over here is we will need we'll be using buttons. Okay. So these are the buttons we will be using. So just making or telling you that these does not have any action associated with them. These are just the interface. Okay. So left arrow does not mean it will take you to the left hand side. Okay. A question and answer button does not mean it will give you question and answer. So these are just buttons which has nothing action, which has no action associated with them. These are just interfaces. Okay? We will assign them the actions. So we will need buttons to perform this. Then we will need bookmarks, and selection pane. Okay? So if I talk about the buttons, let's say if I go to button, insert, buttons, and I'm saying back. So when I hover on it, it is saying click control plus click here to go back to the previous page in this report. So whatever was my last previous page, it will take me back to there if I control click. See. So that's one kind of action, which is back action associated by default with the back button. So if you check, let's say my last page is page 6, and from page 6 I go to page 10, which has the back button. If I click on control click, it will take me to page 6 from the page 10. Okay, so it will take me to the last visited page, this back button. If you see the formatting options of this button, you can see the action is on by default, and what type of action is there? Back action. And what all types of actions we have? We have back, bookmark, drill through, page navigation, question and answer, web URL, apply all slicers, and clear all slicers. So these are the types of actions we have. Okay. Now back button is the only button for which by default the action is on and the default action type is back. Okay. So drill through. Okay. So drill through is basically so we have drill down and drill through. Drill down is basically going to the next level in the hierarchy. Drill through is, let's say I have created a profit dashboard separately for a particular variable, let's say category. So once if I click on any of the category and I drill through that, so it will take me to that profit dashboard, which will show me the data for that particular category only. Yeah, we will cover all the actions one by one. Let's start with back, right? Yes. But this is the only button which by default has the back action type. Okay. So let's say what I want to do is, let's say I have this view tab. I want to have bookmarks and selection pane over here. Okay. Now see, understand what are bookmarks. Bookmarks are nothing, just the screenshots that you have taken, snapshots. And the scope of the bookmark is report level. Like it will show you all the bookmarks that you have created in the report in this tab. The selection pane scope is till the page or the dashboard level. Okay. So it will change as per the page. For example, let me show you. So right now it is showing nothing. If I go to page 9, it is showing me the visuals which are there in page 9. So what is the scope of the selection pane? Page level or dashboard level. Scope of bookmark is at the report level. It will show you all the bookmarks which you have created in that particular report. Okay? So just understand that selection pane का scope page level पे है और bookmark का report level पे है. Now what I want to do is, let's say what a client wants to see is, client wants to see कि there are different visuals, there are two different visuals for the same analysis. Okay? So what I will do is, now I will create a blank button. Let me create a blank button. Blank. And let me have one more blank button. Okay. Okay. Now I will do some formatting on this button. So this is the button. I cannot directly write the text. I have to format it. See, by default, the action is off. So let me do some formatting over here. So I will go to style. And in the style, I have this text option. I will write the text. So let's say this is pie chart, for example, pie chart. And let me make it bold. Increase the text size. It's 20. Okay. Similarly for this, text on, and I will make it, let's say, column chart. Bold. Done. So just till now, what I have done, I have just added these buttons and have basically entered the text into those buttons. Now, if you see the selection pane, you can see two buttons are added because selection pane ka scope is at the page level. If you see the bookmark is what? Snapshot. There's no bookmark which I've created. Now for the pie chart, let me create a pie chart. And let's say it is product category and sales amount, the profit, not profit. Let me take sales amount. Okay, for example, this is the visual I have. I'm creating one more visual, which is column chart. Again, same variables. Yeah. Now, sometimes it happens that what client wants to see different charts for the same analysis that you have done. So you won't be taking extra space for this, right? So what you will do is, so when the client clicks on the pie chart should be visible. When he clicks on column chart should be visible, right? So for that, how you perform this action is used by using buttons, bookmarks, and selection pane. So let me create a bookmark. What I want to do in the selection pane, I can hide or unhide. What I want to do is कि जब pie chart पे click करेंगे तो pie chart visible होना चाहिए, ठीक है? So that means कि pie chart button should be there and pie chart should not be there. So yeah, this should happen. So when I click on pie chart should come, right? So now I will say add a bookmark. Basically, I've taken a screenshot of this and I'm renaming the bookmark as column chart. Column chart, ठीक है? Because यहाँ पे क्या visible है? Column chart, ठीक है? Now I will unhide all of this again. Now for the, if I click on the column chart, so column chart should be visible, the button, ठीक है? And pie chart should be visible. Sorry, pie chart should be visible, right? So now when I click on column chart should appear. That's how I'm building the story, okay? So I will add a bookmark of this and I will name this bookmark as pie chart. Okay, done. Let me unhide all of this now for now. Done. So these two bookmark I have created, column chart, pie chart. Okay. Now I have these two buttons. Let's say pie chart wala jo button hai, action is off. I will associate an action to it. Which action I will associate? Bookmark. Now it will show me all the bookmarks that I have created. So when I click on pie chart, what should appear? Pie chart should appear. Done. Now when I click on column chart, what should appear? Column chart, bookmark action, and it will show me all the bookmarks that I've created. Column chart should appear. Done. Right? And now, so you can see I have associated an action bookmark to this button. When I control plus click here to follow link. So when I control click, when I click on pie chart, it is giving me the pie chart. When I click on column chart, it is giving me the column chart. Now what's the use case? When I hit this, see. Now what I will do is I will simply overlap these two. And overlap these visuals as well. Yeah. Now when I click on pie chart, I'm getting the pie chart. When I click on column chart, I'm getting the column chart. So that's also resulting in saving a lot of space because you have limited space for creating a dashboard. And this is how you can even tell the story. Clear with this functionality of bookmark? So this thing will work on a single click when you publish this on the PowerBI service. Okay? Any doubt over here? Okay. So there's a homework that I am giving you. यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है कि the column chart के ऊपर pie chart का I'm getting this title, right? What I want you to do is you need to create two. I want to see two separate buttons. यहाँ पे it will be pie chart and it will be column chart. ठीक है? So when I click on column chart should be highlighted in, let's say, blue color, and pie chart will be in gray color. So the user will know that I have clicked on column chart. ठीक है? When the user clicks on pie chart should be in blue color and column chart should be in gray color. No, then how will you navigate? So that's an example that I've shared, very basic example that I've shared, how you will navigate between using the bookmarks. ठीक है? But what you can do ideally is, आप क्या करोगे? अगर आपको usually करना तो आप you will create four blank buttons. In these two buttons, it will be written pie chart. In these two buttons, will be writing column chart. ठीक है? Now you will be giving this gray color. This one will be blue color. This one will be gray color. This one will be blue color. Okay. Now when you are saying on the click of pie chart should appear. So that means that this pie chart should appear. So this is, let's say, gray color. This is gray color. This is blue color, and this is also blue color. So when I click on pie chart, the pie chart should be blue color. So this should not be. This should be hidden. This should not be hidden, and this should be hidden. Right. So when I click on pie chart will be in blue color, and column chart will be in gray color, and pie chart should be visible, and column chart should be hidden. Now, once you have done that, you will create a bookmark of it, right? And will associate the actions to the buttons. Similarly, in the case of the column chart also. Then you will overlap, no, these two. You will overlap. Because see, once blue is highlighted, then gray will be hidden. So you'll overlap. So this is a homework. You guys try it out. Not now. Okay. So clear with the bookmark action type, guys? So this is still I'm able to see the bookmark over here because it's a report level scope. The scope of the bookmark is at the report level. Let me insert buttons again. Let's say blank button I'm inserting again. And let me make the action as on. And what all type of, by default, it is taking up the back action. We have seen back bookmark, then we have drill through. Okay. So let's say I'm associating the action is drill through, I'll associate it later. Let's say. So what I will do is, let me rename the button as drill through. Okay. So let me create a visual which has the product category and sales amount. Now I'm having another page which I'm naming as drill through. Okay. यहाँ पे let's say it is a profit analysis which I'm doing over here. So let's say not pie chart, column chart for the profit and product subcategory. And okay. Let's say these are the two charts for now I have in the dashboard. What I want to do is whatever, this is my profit dashboard in the drill through sheet, page 11, I have the product category sales. On whichever category I click on, it will take me to the profit dashboard and it will show me the numbers for that particular category. Okay? The entire dashboard will be filtered. So in order to create a drill through, what you need to do is you have an option over here, drill through. So you need to keep that column over here on the basis of what you want, on the basis of which you want to create a drill through. So it is product category. See, done. And now I go to page 11. See, one option is simply you have to tool tip on. Select the category, right click. Now you are able to see this drill through option and it will take you to the sheet name drill through. And once you do that, now this dashboard is only showing you the data for the bikes. So we can see that bikes has no contribution in business categories such as warehouse or specialty bikes. Okay. Now we have by default a back button also, control click to go back. Now I can see for the components also, right click and drill through to the sheet name, whatever the sheet name is. Now it is showing me the data for the components. The profit dashboard I'm seeing only for the components category. Clear how drill through works? Now we can also associate drill through with the buttons as well. Okay, so this is a drill through button. Let me just style. I can fill the color from here. It's a button which I've created, but drill through is basically navigating to that particular sheet, which will filter the data for that particular category for the column which I've put into the drill through section. अब यहाँ पे मैंने क्या किया है? यहाँ पे I wanted to create a dashboard, profit dashboard, but that profit dashboard should be filtered as per the product categories, right? So product category, I have put product category into the drill through over here. See, drill through section, I put the product category column. So now I can simply click on any of the category and it will show me the profit analysis for that particular category if I go to drill through. See. So basically, I am navigating to that particular page, filtered page for that particular category. Yeah. Depends ki how you are linking your analysis. ठीक है. So we have other functionalities of जैसे अब ये एक तरीका ये है drill through करने का. What's the second way? कि I can associate an action. Yes, we have to create separate page in drill through. So if I click on drill through, यहाँ पे action by default is back. I will make it drill through. Now it will show me the destinations or the pages where I have put any column in the drill through section. तो यहाँ पे सिर्फ एक ही पेज में मैंने पुट किया है, which is drill through sheet. Done. ठीक है. तो अभी check it is basically what it has faded out. This button has faded out. It was orange color. Now it is saying to drill through, select a single data point from the product category. So if I select, let's say components, it is highlighted. Now if I control click on this, it will take me to that particular sheet with the filtered data for the components. That's the second way out. That's how you can do it using the buttons as well. हाँ, बेसिकली अगर आपने यहाँ पे आपने प्रोडक्ट कैटेगरी किया ना, तो अब दैट मींस दिस शीट हैज बीन क्रिएटेड एज अ ड्रिल थ्रू शीट. आपके पास मल्टीपल शीट्स होंगी विद मल्टीपल कॉलम्स, मतलब डिफरेंट कॉलम्स अगर आप क्रिएट कर रहे हो ड्रिल थ्रू, तो यू कैन इट विल शो यू ऑल दी शीट्स व्हिच आर क्रिएटेड एज ड्रिल थ्रू शीट. या
We manually added a bit to that particular button. We selected it as a blank, right?
yes.
So that is, I think that this will automatically take it as a function.
So this drill through you are talking about?
Yes.
This is the text that I've given. This is nothing. You can change the text
As a function, right?
as a function. This is a text. Drill through is a text. The action that I've associated to this button is drill through. We have different type of actions: back, bookmark, and drill through is also one type of action.
So can you associate the button to the slicer?
Can we associate the button to the
Slicer.
Why you need to associate this to the slicer?
To select the, I was just thinking about the keeping the components like buy components, including accessories, and also the all button in the slicer.
We have already that. Apply all slicer, clear all slicers. Okay. Yeah. So there are two ways. One is you can simply select, right click, drill through, and go to that sheet. Or you can select any of the data point and click on the drill through button, control click, and it will take you that filtered dashboard for this particular category. Okay. So this is the use case of drill through. When you want to show the entire dashboard for a particular category, you'll be using drill through. You won't be using tooltip for that. Tooltip का scenario क्या होगा? Let me create a sheet and let me name it as tooltip. So let's say I want to show some raw data for the profit for the categories, let's say for the business type, and I want to show the profit. Okay. So yeah, so I will go to this format section. Here I will have canvas setting, page information में होगा. Yeah, यहाँ पे I have an option which is allow this sheet use as a tooltip, and name of the sheet I have given as tooltip only. So I'll make it on. I'll switch it on. Done. Okay. Now I will go to this page 11. Let's say to this visual and format. So यहाँ पे you don't have that option in general में. You have this tooltip, and now from the tooltip you can select whichever page you want to for basically the sheets or the pages that you have allowed to use as a tooltip. All those sheets will come up over here. So यहाँ पे अब एक basically I've just created a single sheet with the name tooltip. Done. Okay, and yeah. So now when I hover on it, when I hover on it by its category, you are able to see the entire sheet as a tooltip, which I won't recommend, because if you want to show the entire sheet, you basically use drill through that in that case. But if you just want to show a section of the raw data or some analysis, in that case, you can go with the tooltip. For example, here I just want to show, so they see the numbers are changing over here. So I can see bikes is making losses in the warehouses and specialty bike shop business type categories, but not in value-added resellers. Correct? So I just want to show this particular visual. So what I will do, again, I will go to tooltip and I will customize my setting for this visual. So name is tooltip, canvas setting, and I will make it custom. So let me make it, let's say 500. So it's still a lot. 300, 350. That's the height, 250. Yeah, better. So I have changed it the basically the width of the visual. Now what I will do is, I think it's other. Let me make it 250, 250. Okay, let's say. So if I go back to page 11 and I click on bikes, now it does make sense. I'm able to only see the raw data. Well, you can further reduce the height. But yeah, now this is much better compared to the entire sheet. So when you want to only show a particular visual, uh, in terms of analysis, you can go with the tooltip. But आपको अगर entire dashboard show करना है, so that in that case you have to use drill through. Okay. Then we have page navigation. Okay. So I told you in the starting कि जब हम dash report बनाते हैं, so the first sheet will contain different buttons which will tell you कि in which part of the report which kind of analysis you have done, right? So if I simply click on any of this button, it will take me to that particular page, right? It won't be drilled through. You are not filtering for any particular category over here. So when I click on this, it will directly take me to that particular page. Let's say मैंने लिखा है यहाँ पे profit analysis, so it will take me to the profit dashboard directly. ठीक है? So in such scenarios, you will be using an action which is known as page navigation. Okay. So let me create a button for that. Let's say again a blank button I'm creating. Style text. That's why I'm saying it will take you to drill through sheet. ठीक है, ये filtering वगैरह कुछ नहीं कर रहा है. It is just navigating you to that particular sheet. So drill through sheet, and let me increase the size. Done. Currently, there is no action which is associated to this. I'll make it on. By default, it is back. I will say page navigation. Once I do that, in the destination, it will show me all the pages that I have in the report. Okay? So I want to take it to which sheet? Drill through. Done. Drill through sheet, it will take me. So now when I control click on this, it will take me to the drill through sheet. See? Now when I by default, I have a back button over here. So control click back to the home page. So like this, you can use the page navigation actions to basically navigate between different pages. Clear? Let me have one more button, which is let's say yeah. So if you remember, we have a feature Q&A feature in Power BI. You basically it will show you suggestions, and whatever you write, it will create a chart accordingly, analysis. So if I double click, so I'm saying show all suggestions. So these all are the suggestions it is showing me as per the KPIs that I've created. So I'm saying top resellers by number of sales, let's say, or totals YTD sales by business type. It is performing that. See, you just need to write the question and it will show you the analysis for that. So if you want to, let's say have a button, by clicking on that button, the user should be able to ask any query. So there you can associate this Q&A action. Okay. So I can create a button over here. Let's say button, blank button, let's say. So these are all interfaces. You can use any button. Okay. And I will name it as ask queries. Okay. And the type of action that I will associate to this is Q&A. Now I just need, so I have to control click in Power BI. But when you publish it on the Power BI service, everything will work on a single click. Okay, control click, see. And it is showing you the suggestions. So the क्या है ये? Aptitude. Yeah. So it is showing you the suggestions based on the KPIs that you have created. Also, you can write your questions and it will show you the visual accordingly. Okay. So now cross it and done. So it won't take up any space. Simply just control click and whatever you want to see as per the suggestions, it will show you the chart for that accordingly. Okay. And cross it. So just for the reference, you can have this ask query button also. So let's say you have built your report, right? So now you want to give the reference also of the sites where you have taken the feedbacks from, right? So you can give the URLs and the client can simply click on the button and visit those sites to understand what all you have done. Okay. So simply let's say I am saying ki, let's say some site over here. Let's say Dex. Okay. Let's say this. I want you to have a read of this site. So I'll just simply copy the URL. Make the action as on. Action type will be web URL and paste your web URL over here. Okay, done. Now, I haven't given any name now. So that's okay. Now when I control click on this, it will take me to that site. So that's a URL action associated with this button. So if you want to share any article or any read through, so for that you can use this URL action. Okay. Then one more thing. Okay. Then we have apply all slices and clear all slices. So with this click of button, this can also happen. But what you can do is, see what we have seen buttons, right? So I have navigator also. So we use that type of action, which is page navigation. Similarly, we have a page navigator, which you can simply use directly. But again, not in the, you have to apply for some formatting. I want to have a rotation of this. That is the shape rotation, no? Not shape. Just a second. Yeah. So this will show you all the pages, and by just simply clicking on this, it will take you that particular page. Padding. It's a grid. I mean, you have to see the. One row, 5 columns. I want to have, let's say, 3 rows. Yeah. Better now. Now, okay, let's see what actions we have associated with these. See, if I click on any of the sheet, then back button. So it can also be used as a page navigation. So we have a direct option, and we didn't have this. and it will directly take me to that particular sheet. Clear? And then we have this also. No? 1 second. Okay, apply all slices and clear all slices. So, see, we have seen page navigator. Similarly, we have bookmark navigator also. So all the bookmarks that you have created, it will navigate you accordingly. So if I click on this, not over here, just a second, let me delete this. So here I can have, so what I was telling you to create is already there once you click on this bookmark navigator. Okay? So when I click on pie chart, see, pie chart is highlighted and the column chart is white in color. So that's how I know the pie chart is selected. Clear? It is happening on the basis of the bookmark that you have created. Now, then we have apply all slicers and clear all slicers. So if I click on apply all slicers, this is kind of a button only. So let's say, not mic. Okay? See, till now it was not activated. When I have selected all the slicers present on that particular page and I click on control click, then the changes are happening. Similarly, you can have a button which will say clear all slicers. So now since I've selected all the slicers, I can click on this button, clear all slicers all at once. So when I click on bikes, is it changing? No. 1 second. It is all except now. So all except that, in that case, it should change. Right? But because I've apply all slicers at once, so I've selected all the slicers and then I click on apply all slicers, then it will change accordingly. Okay. Similarly, clear all slicers. So these are the type of actions that we have discussed. Any doubt in the actions part over here? Guys, any doubt in the actions part? Huh? You have to create a separate sheet. Because यहाँ पे मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, जो मेरी पेज का width है ना, I am just reducing the width and height of that page. Yes. So ultimately you will hide this sheet ना, फिर आपको दिखाने की जरूरत नहीं है, just hide it. And hide option आएगा ना, but that won't be visible to the client. Guys, any doubt in the type of actions, buttons, bookmarks, and selection page? So these are used for storytelling. Okay, when you build your report, how you are going to present your report from the home page and navigating to different pages, and then using the drill through and slicers or drill down tooltip, all of that. Okay. Now let's say what I want to do is I'm creating this column chart. Okay, in the column chart, I am having the, let's say, product category and sales amount. What I want to do is I want to see the sales of product category. I want to see the sales of subcategory and business type in a single chart only. So my point is, instead of creating 3 different charts, 3 different column charts, one for the business type, one for the product category, one for the product subcategory, I want to show that in a single chart. How can I do that? So for that, what's the ideal case? That I have to change my x-axis dynamically based on selection. So if I have a slicer which have all these 3 columns, business type, product category, and product subcategory, that will do my work. But what happens when I drag a column into a slicer? जब किसी भी slicer में, if I drag business type, what will it show me? It will show me the unique categories in that particular column instead of showing me the column name itself. So what I will do is, if I want to change my categorical axis dynamically, okay, based on selection, I will create a parameter for that. So we have this view, optimize where is the parameter? Just a second, guys. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, in the modeling, I think they have shifted the position somewhere in the new version. So in the modeling tab, we have a new parameter which has two ranges, two things, numeric range and fields. So if I want to change the x-axis dynamically or categorical axis dynamically, I'll be working with fields in that case. Once I do that, which column I want to treat as a slicer. So I will insert those columns over here. So I want to have, let's say, business type, and I want to have product category. I want to have product subcategory, let's say. Okay. So I want to have anything else. Let it be this much only. So I want to have these three categories. The column itself are treated as categories. And let me make it as dy dynamic x-axis. Okay. That's the name of the parameter. And we have an option over here which is saying add a slicer to this page. Okay. And I will say create. So पहले क्या होता था कि if I drag business type, it will show me three categories of the business type, not the column itself as a category. So if you want to show the column itself as a category into the slicer, you will be using a parameter fields. Okay, and this is the DAX function written of it for this. Now, if I click on business type, it should show me business type, but it is not changing. My x-axis is not changing. Why? What do you think the reason for this? Y-axis क्या? तो y-axis तो मेरा same है ना, sales. My x-axis should change. So if I click on this visual, you can see x-axis में कौन सा column है? Product category. कौन सा column होना चाहिए? Not business type. The column which is having these three categories, right? So I've created a parameter, dynamic x-axis. Expand this, and if I click on this, it will be in the x-axis. See. If I want to show you what is in the dynamic x-axis, see. I have a dynamic x-axis. These are the names, and these are the fields, and these are the order. So now when I click on business type, I'm able to see the sales for the business type categories. When I click on product category, I'm able to see the sales for the product category. When I click on subcategory, I'm able to see the sales for the product subcategory. So this is how I can change my x-axis dynamically or categorical axis dynamically. Okay. So that means कि instead of creating the three charts, I'm able to do that, or 5 or 7 charts, I'm able to do it using a single slicer with the use of parameter. अगर मेरे को sales ही show करना था तो ठीक है. So this is about changing x-axis dynamically. Now, let's say on the y-axis, I want to change the y-axis also dynamically. I have used okay, that will be then in the case of hierarchy, that will be building a hierarchy. I don't want to build a hierarchy. Now I want to change my y-axis dynamically. So let's say in a slicer, if I select profit, it should show me product category profit. If I select sales, it should show me sales. If I select cost, it should show me cost. So let's say instead of creating 9 charts, 3 cross 3, I'm able to show that in a single chart. How will I do that? So for that, I have to create dynamic measures because my y-axis is continuous over here. So see, अगर मैं profit को या sales को slicer में लेके जाऊंगा तो क्या होगा? It will give me all the unique values of that particular column. Profit की unique values आ जाएगी. But मेरे को क्या चाहिए? I want the profit itself as a category. So what I will do is I will create a table. So I will say यहाँ पे enter data and I will give the column name as measures. Okay, and the measures name is, let's say, profit, sales, cost. Let it be these three for now. And I will click on OK. Name of the table is, let's say, select measures. load. So I have a table which is named as select measures, which is having the column as measures itself. Let me see what all data it is having. Uh, see, these three values. I want to treat these as a slicer. Okay. So I will put these into the slicer. Where's the slicer? Measures. So now when I click on cost, it should change to cost, but it is not changing, right? Because यहाँ पे तो it was happening dynamically. Just I needed to change the x-axis with the with this parameter column which I've created. But यहाँ पे I have to link कि y-axis पे cost है तो y-axis पे क्या आना चाहिए. So how can I link this to the y-axis? I have to link this slicer to the y-axis, continuous column, continuous axis. How can I do that? So here comes the part where I'll be using the switch function. We give the name as dynamic underscore measures, dy underscore measure. And I will say that measure, select measure से measure वाली जो column है, so I will say select selected value, and this function I'll be using. Inside that I'll be saying measure. Select measure में select measure is the name of the table. In that I have a column whose name is measure. Okay. So in this, whatever value are present in this measure column, if the value is profit, then what should be the result? Profit. And what sum of total cost sales table. It's a column. Else, jump to the else part. What's the revenue sales amount? So I will say sum of sales amount. Done. So I've created a measure and I've mapped the values. Okay. Okay. But still, I'm not able to see cost over here. So I'm changing my x-axis and y-axis dynamically based on selection. Clear? So if I click on product category, let's say cost. This is the cost, this is the profit, and this is the sales. So instead of getting 9 charts, I'm able to sum it up in a single chart only. Same type of 9 charts. I'm just able to sum that thing in a single chart only. Okay? Now let me know any doubt in the formula section over here. It is just mapping the values. Like we used to give label code, category code. Same as that, I have mapped the values to the slicer, or to that particular column, whose name is measures. So this is how you can change your x-axis and y-axis dynamically. Okay? देखो स्लाइसर में अगर मैं कोई वेरिएबल ट्रैक करता हूँ तो वो मेरे को उसकी कैटेगरी शो करता है, चाहे वो एक्स एक्सिस कैटेगोरिकल हो चाहे कंटिन्यूस हो। बट मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ स्लाइसर में, आई एम टेकिंग द बट लेट्स से अब इसमें एक न्यूमेरिक रेंज वाला भी पैरा यहाँ पे सेक्शन है, वी हैव एन ऑप्शन ऑफ न्यूमेरिक रेंज। So let me make it as the name of the range I'm giving as discount, the name of the parameter for the numeric range. I'm giving the name as discount, and the value is starting from 0.05. The max value will be 0.2. ठीक है? Data type will be whole number, not whole number, decimal, and there should be an increment of 0.05. ठीक है? So once I do that, it will create a slicer having this. Let me make it vertical list slicer setting. Vertical list. ठीक है? The name of the slicer is discount and it has all the discounted percentage values. ठीक है? Now I am creating a marks card which will have the total sales amount, and I will create another marks card which will show me the discount, what is the sales amount left after the discount. ठीक है? So how can I get the sales amount left after the discount? Let's say total sales is 100 rupees. ठीक है? अगर 5% का डिस्काउंट लगा है तो what will be the sales amount? 95. क्या फॉर्मूला होगा इसका? सेल्स अमाउंट माइनस डिस्काउंट इनटू सेल्स अमाउंट, राइट? सेल्स अमाउंट कितना 100, डिस्काउंट कितना है 0.05 इनटू 100 which is 5% of 100, which is 100 minus 5 equals to 95. Same formula we will be using in DEX. So what will I create? Measure, new measure, and I will name it as sales after discount. Sales after discount. ठीक है? And I'm saying कैसे होगा? What will be the formula? Total sales, sum of sales amount minus what? Discounted value. Discounted value कैसे आएगी? How will I get the discounted value? फॉर्मूला क्या डिस्काउंटेड वैल्यू का? डिस्काउंट इनटू सेल्स अमाउंट, राइट? तो ये तो एक्सप्रेशन हो गया ना. व्हाट विल आई यूज? कैलकुलेट sum x. I need the total sum, so I will say sum x. What is the table? Sales table. And what is the expression? It is sales amount into what? Into discount. Discount is the table, not by 100 because I have already taken the discounted value into fractions. Yeah. So into discounted value. Yes. So into discounted value is the column name which has all the discounted values. Done. Close. So this will give me what? Sales after discount. ये वाला clear है? I have used sum x because this is my expression. Okay. So now I will drag this column sales after discount into this section. Currently there is no discount offered. I want to see what is the sales after discount when 5% discount is offered. See, obviously sales will decrease if 10%, 15, 20.
Yes, they don't give one for the
I have inserted this discount column into the sum x. ठीक है? So you can basically compare कि with this you can understand कि how much max or minimum discount you should give and how much it is affecting your sales. Clear? So I can say कि this can be a projected sales and this can be your actual sales if you offer 20% discount. Okay, guys. Let's understand. We used to do conditional formatting in Excel. We can do the same thing in Power BI also on tables, because formatting visuals does not make any sense because they are already highlighted with colors, right? So let's say I have this product category and I have the sales amount or profit. Okay. Now, if I go to the format visual, guys, please. So you can basically decide the type of table, like formatting options, what all formatting options you want to keep for the table. That can be done from here. Let me keep it default. Okay. You can change the grid color from here. What width you want to keep. If you want to have vertical grid lines, then you can have those as well, like between the columns. So if I make it on, you can see the now vertical grid lines as well. And you have the formatting options for this as well. Borders, what border colors you want to give. So it is bluish. You can even select one of the borders and give a particular color to that particular border. Okay. Now, talking about the values, this is formatting related to values, but I want to just specifically talk about some. Yeah. So in the cell elements, I have the formatting options, conditional formatting, same as what we had in Excel. So if I say I want to highlight background color, make it on. Now, okay. So this window will open up and it is telling you ki what format style you want to keep. So what field should we base this on? So I'm saying, let's say what I've taken, profit. So I'm saying if sales and profit in not, I'm taking numbers. If it is greater than 0, greater than 0 and less than equals to, let's say, I can say some number. Probably we have how much? 9,65,000 is max, right? So let's say 1 million or 5. Okay, by max. Let's say max number. Then this bluish color I want to give. And I can add a new rule. If it is less than 0, it is not, there's no option of less. So we have this option over here, less than 0. I think it won't work in that case. थोड़ा complex है यहाँ पे. So let it be blue color and I say okay. Done. See. So whichever are greater than 0 and in the range are highlighted with, background is highlighted with blue color. ठीक है? So we have the rules. We have a field value also, like on the basis of the values only. And I can give the column as profit over here. Sales, profit. Picking up their values and totals, let's say. I'm not picking up. Let's say values, I'm talking about product category. Okay, first. And so it is not picking up any continuous column. It will pick up only categorical column. Let's say product category. First to last, summarization. So sometimes what happens, you are given with the options, but they are not valid for certain, I can say, variables. So मतलब ये option यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है, it is not for this categorical variable over here. So यहाँ पे you should go with either you should go with gradient, that you can add a middle color from max value to lowest value. You can change the summarization, and so it's a counter product category. I can have the profit also, profit. Okay. And accordingly, it will change the color. If you want to add a middle color, that can also be done. If I say okay, see. So that I can understand bikes is having the lowest profit and components is having the highest profit by looking at this table. So these are some of the formatting options that are available with us in the table. Also, what you can do is you can give the see, it's depending what you want to do. You want to highlight the background color or the font color. Okay. So let's say again for the rules, if this is okay, product category, right? Let me take profit. Greater than 0 in the case of number, and less than, let's say, 5 lakh. How much it is? 5,000, 50,000, 5 lakh. Okay. Then I want to give some this color. Then I will add a new rule, and I'm saying if the value is greater than 5 lakh, 5,000, 50,000, 5 lakh, and less than, let's say, 1 million, I want to give a bit darker color to the shade. Done. So like this, you can define your rules for the continuous variable. Done. See what has happened. The fonts are highlighted. Similarly, if you want to, let me just, okay, summarization. If you want to add icons, that can also be done. So as per the product profit, okay, so you can add icons like if the value is greater than equals to that particular number. If I take, or let me take percent, greater than 0 and less than 0.3, less than 33%, then I will give that as a red. New rule, greater than 33 and less than 67, some yellowish, greater than 67 and less than 100, that is green color. Right, you can select the icons from here, whatever we did in the Excel conditional formatting, and click on OK. So it is just showing for you the bikes. Okay. So it has to be percent. Yeah. See, bikes is in the range of less than 33%. Clothing and accessories in the range of 33 to 67, and components in from 67 to 100% range. So you can even perform conditional formatting, and accordingly you can even allocate web URLs, right? So we do not have that much options as much as we had in Excel for the conditional formatting, but yeah, still if you want to perform basic formatting, that can also be done on tables in Power BI. Okay. Okay. So with this, we are done with Power BI. On Thursday, we'll be looking at few things. We'll be building a dashboard basically, or I can say a report. So you all have the data. What you are going to do is, on Thursday, you're going to tell me what all analysis we are going to perform, what all KPIs we are going to derive. Well, we have derived most of the KPIs, but still, what all KPIs we can derive, what all KPIs we are going to use in the analysis, what all dashboard we are going to prepare, and how we are going to navigate with each other. Okay? So this research you have to do at your end, and we will be basically implementing it on Thursday. Okay? Okay. Any queries, guys? Any queries? Okay, so I'll stop for today.